Today we're going to be talking about four of the most basic watercolor techniques: wet on dry, wet on wet, adding salt, and adding rubbing alcohol. These are some of the most basic techniques you can start out with when you're first trying out watercolor, and they're a great place to start. The supplies you're going to need are watercolor paper, watercolor paints, rubbing alcohol, any type of salt, a variety of paintbrushes, your water, and paper towels. I divided up my paper so that I had four different sections: one for wet on dry, wet on wet, salt, and rubbing alcohol. You can divide them up however you want. I just liked having four different sections for each technique. I made sure to get a small container and put a little bit of my rubbing alcohol in it, and then I also got another one and sprinkled some of the salt into a container where I can easily get it out. Also, feel free to try out different kinds of salt like rock salt or sea salt. The first thing that you want to do is you want to add water to all of the paints in your palette that you want to use during these techniques. So all I'm doing is taking a little bit of water and dripping it into each of the colors that I might want to use on my paper. The first technique that we're going to go over is wet paint on dry paper. So you can use any of the brushes that you have. However, I'm going to use a smaller brush and try to get small details. That's what works best with this technique. So I'm going to get wet paint and a wet brush, and I'm going to try and get small, very controlled details. The goal is not to do anything particular or anything perfect, but I just want to get the hang of trying to get small controlled details, or just controlled details. You'll notice that while you are painting wet paint on dry paper, you can get very fine lines and very specific shapes. Make sure to wash out your brush after each of the colors that you use and try out different sizes. So here I'm going to get a much larger brush and I'm going to experiment with a new color, and I'm going to try out different ways of holding that brush and experiment with different types of marks I can make with just one type of brush. And you'll notice that even though it is a big brush, I can still get some fine lines and smaller details. You'll also notice that I am not having any of my lines touching. I want to have all of the marks that I'm making separate. That way, none of the colors are going to bleed into something else. If you accidentally touch something with another mark, that's okay, don't worry about it. But try your best to keep your marks separated and then wash your brush out very well at the end of this technique. Our next technique is going to be wet paint on wet paper. So we want to start out with clean brush and some water and just create a puddle of water on your next section of paper. Once you have that puddle, you can start to pick out multiple different colors and slowly add them in to the saturated paper. When you add those colors in, you'll notice that they start to spread and bleed throughout that puddle. So it's really cool if you start to pick out different colors, add them into that same water puddle, and see how those paints start to interact. You can also experiment with different ways of adding the color by either tapping your brush or using larger brush strokes or smaller dots. You can also experiment with multiple different puddles of water on your same technique, square, or section. If those puddles do touch though, just know that those colors will bleed into one another. So you can see here that I tried out different shapes of brush strokes and put in the paint in different areas. They're going to be controlled a little bit, but you can still see that those colors will merge and blend and soften because they're put on wet paper. I'm going to try out a couple more colors in the bottom of my technique sheet with some brighter colors like yellows and oranges. What I can also try out is creating areas where these puddles come together. If I take water and put that in between the two puddles that I created at the top, those colors will start to merge together because the paints are still wet. The last two techniques are salt and rubbing alcohol. In order for these techniques to work, you have to make sure your paint is wet. If your paint isn't wet, there's nothing for the salt to stick to. So you can either use the wet on dry or the wet on wet technique, but just make sure that your paint is still wet when you pour the salt on or you drip the rubbing alcohol on. For the salt technique, I'm going to do both. I'm going to try the wet on wet and I'll try the wet on dry. So first I'm going to do wet on wet. I put water on my paper and then I added that purple paint on top of that puddle. You can do more than one color or you can just leave it one color. However, I am going to work a little bit faster to make sure that the paint isn't going to soak into the paper and dry up. I want to sprinkle the salt on with just a little pinch, and I want to do that while the paint is still wet. If I wait too long or if the paint starts to soak into the paper, there's nothing for the salt to soak into. Now I'm going to try the wet on dry. This can still work, however, I want to make sure the paint is saturated enough with water before I put it onto my paper. That way you have enough water for the salt to stick to. You can also try out sea salt or different types of rock salt to see if that gets you different textures. Our last technique is going to be using rubbing alcohol. So you still want to make sure that your paint is wet enough, and you can use any of your brushes for this technique, but you do need two. So I'm going to do wet on dry and paint some green paint onto my paper. Once that is on there, I want to work quickly and get my second brush, which I'm going to use a small brush, dip it into my rubbing alcohol, and then start to paint it onto my wet green paint. You can experiment with different brush strokes or even the splattering technique and try out different ways of adding on the rubbing alcohol to your paints. After you're done, wash out your brushes really well and feel free to try out this with either wet on dry or like I'm showing with wet on wet right now. I'm going to put a puddle of water down and then I'm going to add different colors into that puddle. I just want to make sure that my paint doesn't dry as I'm working so that the rubbing alcohol can soak into that paper. Once I have the colors that I like, I can start to get the smaller brush or any size brush, dip it into my rubbing alcohol, and I can try out different brush strokes like scribbles, stripes, dots, blobs. This is great for making really interesting texture. You'll see here that I'm putting rubbing alcohol on the dry paint from earlier, and it does not have the same effect. It will only work on wet paint. Dry your painting with a hair dryer or let it air dry for a couple of hours, but you'll need to make sure it's completely dry before you start rubbing the salt off. You can gently rub it with your finger over a trash can or over your water cup. Once it is all finished, take a look at all of the different textures, finishes, and the different ways that the watercolor interacts with just these 4 basic techniques. Go ahead and try some of these out and have some fun.